They said third time is the charm. So we're gonna try again. We're gonna try again. Let's try again. Let's try again. Okay. Oh my motherfucking goodness. Finally. We in here, y'all. Hey y'all, hey. Hey. It's been a long time. We miss y'all. What's going on?
What's
All right,
up?
y'all. I'm gonna go
How's
ahead
it?
and let Dr. Chris do our intro, and then we're gonna get into it. So I'm kind of her therapist, and so we are back. It's been a minute. We miss y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to my girl so we can get this thing started.
All right, y'all. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in this evening, this impromptu. Let me check in with y'all. Let's check in. Episode of It Say Speak Your Truth. My name is Dr. Chris, and we're so excited to see you guys on live with us on a Saturday evening. It's a bit later, but we are very appreciative and excited to see that we still have some people that are up. Right now, we're on Mountain Time, so it is a bit behind Central and Eastern. So, thank you for joining if you're able to. And let's get into our next topic. So, the last time we were live, we had our See You Later episode. We mentioned that there were some things that we had to take care of and put the full attention and intention into it. And we kind of had to take a step back from going live consistently every other week. And so now we want to talk about just checking in with y'all, seeing what's going on with y'all, and then also discuss our new topic. Uh-oh. Can everyone not hear me? Okay. You might have to come out of it and then come back in. So yeah, that's what we wanted to do this episode. I'm gonna shift it back over to Kai and let her introduce our topic for this evening.
Oh my God. So she was supposed to introduce the topic and then she turned it back over to me. Oh my God. We are so not prepared today, but it is okay. So today, this is our 25th episode. 25, okay? And so today we're going to be talking about I'm not antisocial, I am socially selective, okay? So basically, no, I'm not. I mean, I can be, but it's not that I'm antisocial or that people are antisocial. It's just sometimes we just don't see value in certain relationships or connections, and we just choose not to give our time and our energy away. So basically that's what this episode is going to be about. Um so yeah, I don't know why. Why I don't know. It's been so long. I just feel so not prepared for today. But anywho, Chris, you have anything?
All right, just want to check in. Can everyone hear me? Kai, you hear me? Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, I'm not antisocial, I'm socially selective. There are times in your journey where you're like, I've talked about this before, where you're kind of particular or mindful of where you go, who you hang with, the things that you used to enjoy, you find like you don't really want to do it anymore, or you want to do something a little bit more peaceful, quiet, relaxed, more low key. And so the people that you used to turn up with, you just not wanting to do that or hang with people like those past people that had you doing the past activities, things that you have outgrown. And so a lot of people, used to be the life of the party, want to turn up, want to do XYZ with all these different individuals. And then you reach a point where you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on people. And I used to like look at that like, he don't want to be around, or she don't want to be around people. She don't like talking to people. And it's like, no, you really have to be mindful of who you allow yourself to be around and who you share your energy with. We talk a lot about your network and, making sure that you're around people and getting being associated with people that are on the same level as you or are on the same path as you. Y'all trying to grow, y'all trying to learn, y'all trying to elevate. Like, that's the type of people you want to be around. And so sometimes it can come across as, nah, I'm good, I don't want to be bothered with you because you're not on what I'm on. That's being socially selective. Like, you want to be around people you want to be around, and some people will like that and some people will not. Okay. Like, we really have to learn and accept when some connections have taken their course, the proper course, or have reached an end, and it's time for a new network. It's time to extend and, connect with others that might scare us, might challenge us, might inspire us. There's always there's always a reason why some some connections might shift, or you feel like some behaviors or your perspective will shift. Like, time brings a lot of clarity. When you have the time and space to just be and think things through, you'll reach different conclusions from when, let's say, you're stressed out and you're trying to process stuff, or you're trying to multitask. You're doing this over here, and then you're trying to think about this over here, and then you're worrying about what you got to heal over here. It can be a bit frustrating, overwhelming. However, you have to be grateful. You have to be intentional with what you're doing. And that's just not with self, right? It could be with your connections, being intentional about who you're connecting with, who you're talking to, who you're um who who pours into you and adds something to you, right? Like, you're learning from them as they are from you. And it's just a reciprocal exchange of energy, knowledge, information. If you're not doing that with people, and I'm not saying everybody, like, you have to always learn something from everyone, but you can. Um, but I just think at a certain point, you do become a little bit selective and selfish with your energy. You don't want to be around everybody and getting into everything, and that's fine. Sometimes for a reason and a season, then it's fulfilled its purpose in our lives. Yeah. Like, when you're connecting with somebody at a certain point in your life, a certain point in your journey, they will, be there to help facilitate your growth or your evolution in some way, shape, or form. However, once you reach the next stage in your journey, you it comes a point where you do have to decipher, determine, okay, are these people for a season, or is this a lifelong connection? That's something you have to evaluate. Like, nobody can tell you, oh, you know this person since you were a little girl or a little boy. You have to remain connected to them throughout your entire journey. And yeah, y'all gonna be changing at different paces and different ways, but you have to remain connected to them no matter what. And that mindset, I think, is a bit faulty. That's just my opinion. Because you're not going to remain connected to everybody in the same way that you previously were. Like, let's say you coming from it's a trauma bond, and you heal from that trauma. What else connects you with that individual? So that's something you have to think about. Anything, Kai?
Yes, ma'am, and thank you, because I told you I had a brain for earlier. So you got my wheels spinning. So thank you for that. So this made me just listening to Dr. Chris speak. It just it made me reflect on, like my past. And just to go back on something that she said about, you're gonna learn something from, any and everyone that's in your life, or you should. I feel like, everybody is a reflection of you. People can be reflections of your past self, your unhealed self. People can be reflections of your current self, and they can be on the same journey that you are on. And then you have people that are reflections of who you want to become. So you have to choose what energy you want to tap into, because it's all energy, it's all frequency. We talk about this all the time. So it just made me think about, how many people I've cut off, from my past. And it's not that I'm being funny. It's not that I think I'm better. It's not that I'm looking down on anybody, but we just do not align. We don't have the same goals. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to go out every single weekend and get drunk and can't remember what the fuck happened. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not the lifestyle that I want to live. That's not the person who I want to become. So and for one, you can't force anybody to change, right? So exactly, you got to set energetic boundaries. You cannot force people to change, because then they're going to resent you. So it's either you're going to change voluntarily, or I'm going to cut you off voluntarily. It's no love lost, it's no hard feelings, but we just don't align. And sometimes you just have to love people from a distance. No, I don't want to talk to you. No, I don't want to hang out with you. No, I don't want to do none of that. And it's no hard feelings, it's no love lost, but it's draining, especially when you talk to people. It's less than you haven't talked to somebody in 6 months to a year, and then you talk to them a year later and they still doing the same shit that they was doing 12 months ago. That's a problem to me. That's a problem, because I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly changing every day. If you talk to me yesterday, you don't know who I am today. If you haven't talked to me last month and you talk to me today, then you don't know who I am, because I'm a totally different person. I evaluate, I reflect, I think about conversations that I have with people, and I think about what I need to do better, ways that I can be better. You can ask anybody that I talk to. If I feel that I did something out of line, even though that person may not feel, like, you can even ask Chris, because I've done this several times. I'll be like, friend, I'm so sorry about that. And she'll be like, about what? And then I go into detail. She's like, oh, well, I didn't think nothing of you probably didn't, but I did, because I know that that's something that I want to change. And that's how you take accountability. When you take accountability, you not looking for nobody else to tell you what you need to do. You are looking at yourself. So if you can't sit back, and if you can't take accountability for your actions, and if you can't self-reflect, I don't want to be around you, because the only thing that you're going to do is you going to keep pointing the finger. You're going to keep pointing the finger. You're going to keep saying it's everybody else. But the whole time you got three fingers pointing right back at you. So I just, I can't. I can't. I will not. It's draining. And I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to give to people that's not trying to move forward. Um, I was about to say something. So there's going to be people, like, when you make this shift and when you make this change and you become, you start to evolve and you start to become the better version of yourself, right? There's still going to be people that can't take no for an answer. There's going to be people that literally cannot comprehend what it means when you say, no, that's not what I want to do. I have people from my past, like, I've changed my number twice. I've blocked people from social media. And these people are making fake pages. These people are making fake pages, reaching out to me, messaging me. Like, I'm trying to understand what you don't understand. Clearly, I don't want to be bothered. I I don't know, but that's just where I'm at. But I'm definitely not antisocial. I'm quiet. I observe a lot. I gotta peep the scene. I gotta see who I'm gonna give my energy to. I have to see what you about first, because I like to, oh, well, this one messy, or she cool, or he, mm-mm. before I add myself into a conversation. Oh, thank you so much. We love you too. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us. Um, but yeah, it's like some real shit. And it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to make it seem like any of this shit is easy, because it's not. Like, you're gonna battle with yourself. Like, you're definitely gonna battle with yourself, especially when you're dealing with other people and like you feeling their energy. Sometimes you could feel other people energy and you don't even know that it's other people energy. You just gonna feel off and just like, oh my God, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel just, I don't know what's wrong with me. You feeling other people energy because they mad that you have decided to cut them off, or you've decided to pull your energy back. People don't like that. And it's an energy. Like, you're gonna feel it. Like, we are energetic beings, regardless. So I think that's all I have for right now. And then I'll come back after Dr. Chris shares her thoughts.
Thank you for sharing that. Listen, heavy on you gonna feel my energetic pull, my aura be away from you. It's never gonna sit right with you, especially when you know you're being a good, pure, intentional, loving, caring, giving person, and you might be doing that with the wrong people. It happens, right? You learn. It hurts. My cousin, shout out to my cousin. We always have like these long, intentional conversations, and we just had one before I left, stating that you know it's no beef. We I'm just protecting myself, right? I'm just learning who I want to be around, who I want to, like I say, pour my energy into. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're not bringing each other peace in some way, shape, or form, then the connection is kind of redundant. Like, I just don't want nobody around me where I have to second guess or like, are you sure? Or think about, I have to think about if they rocking with me, how I'm rocking with them. That has been a lesson that I have to learn over the years. Like, you go so hard for people. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're sacrificing this, you're giving that, and you're neglecting self. But at the same time, you're also helping the other person neglect you as well. Like we always say, nobody can do what you don't allow them to do, right? If you don't put up those energetic boundaries, like we mentioned before, people gonna continue to do what you've always allowed them to do, and that could be hard because that does require some self accountability and change. Right? You have to change. You have to want to change. You have to decide, okay, I'm going to change, and then you're gonna have to implement the change. But I feel like a lot of times we've been so conditioned to do things a certain way that when we think that, okay, I want different, it's foreign, it's scary, it's the unknown. And the unknown is scary, yes, but it's also exciting because you don't know what's on the other side until you make the decision to step out and see what that's about. So you could be selective with who you're around. You might feel a little guilty, like, oh dang, I don't want them to think that I'm better than, or that I think I'm too good to hang with them or whatever. But when you're on your journey and you're really you're in tune with you and who you are and what value you bring and what piece you add and what you're looking for, when your goals don't are you're trying to make sure that the people that you're around and allow around you are in tune with you, are on the same page with you. That's just part of the assessment. I'm looking at me and I'm evaluating me. Okay, I'm good. All right, now who is this person that's stepping to me talking about they want to be my friend, talking about they want to be in my life, talking about they want to grow together, they want to look into some things with me and all of this. Definitely have to be careful. Definitely have to know who you're pouring your energy into. And are they down for you in the same way? Is it reciprocal? And if it isn't, then you already know what I'm about to say. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, um, another reason why I would be socially selective, um, is from being around people who see your growth. Um, they see you changing, and then they start to say, slick things, or, be very sarcastic. You can see the sarcasm, you can hear the sarcasm, like you just know, like the vibes are off. And the only reason why is because you have decided to change. And then people will, again, they feel like you know everything. Okay, no, I don't know everything, but I know about this particular thing. I don't know everything, but I know this. And I know my journey, and I know me, and I know what I need to do to progress. So, no, I don't know everything, but I know what's best for Akaya. And being around you may not be what's best for me. I met someone, I went to a tea party with my Eastern Star sisters. I went to a tea party, and I met this girl. And like, like we were just like talking about some things or whatever. And she said something to me. She was like, well, maybe, you may have to go back to, that person that you was, and, kind of pop out and show niggas, basically go off, because like we were talking about, like the things we changed. And I'm like, well, I'm real quick at the mouth, my mouth real slick. So I found myself these days being a little more quiet than usual. And I've noticed that people think that just because you're quiet and you don't react or respond right away, that you dumb to the fuck shit that's going on. Like you just, oh, she just easy, or she's scary, or she naive. No, she's not none of those things. She's sitting back and she's letting you show her who you are. Because what you're doing is a reflection of your character. What I'm doing is a reflection of my character and my growth. So basically she said, well, you may need to, go back and, go off on somebody. And I'm like, nah, no, I don't, because that's moving backwards. I'm not doing that. So I just had to sit with myself, and I had to sit with the situation, and I had to just be still. I had to just be quiet and just let things work out how they work out. So when I finally got my words together, my attitude together, and because I'm not letting nobody take me from a place that they didn't bring me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I created this happiness, I created this lifestyle, I created all of this for myself. So why the fuck would I let a motherfucker that didn't contribute to nothing that I have going on right now take me back to a place where I've graduated from? That's like graduating from college and then starting back all over from elementary. Fuck, I look like. Got me fucked up. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut you off. So, anywho, I told the person whatever I needed to tell them. It was very professional. I said what I had to say, and the person tried to laugh it off. Ha ha ha. I said, I don't find anything funny about what I just said. And the person said, oh, well, what do you mean? Now you're trying to gaslight me. We It's conversation over. We can continue to work together, but we don't need to talk. We don't need to have a relationship outside of what we have going on with this other thing that's going on. And that's just one example. And I've also noticed that when people see that you're actively working on yourself and that you're actively consciously being a better person, they will try to tempt you. You know, what is it? Bad associations spoil useful habits, right? Lead us not into temptation. And those people try to tempt you to do shit that you've grown from just so they could feel better about themselves because they don't have the strength to to hold themselves accountable and do right. And just because it didn't work for them, they don't like the fact that it's working for you because you're actually putting in the work. I don't want to be around those kind of people. That's not who I want to be around. If you can't motivate me, if you can't help inspire me, or if you just can't keep your comments to yourself while you go work on yourself, don't try to be negative and try to take me down because you can't get your shit together. That's another reason why I would be socially selective or antisocial, if that's whatever you want to call it. At this point, I'm at the point in my life, I don't give a fuck what you call it. I don't give a fuck what you call me. You want me to be the villain? That's perfectly fine. I don't care. Like that's really where I'm at. What was that song? Chrisette Michelle, she was like, blame it on me, say it's my fault, say I'm a liar, a cheater, say anything that you want just as long as it's over. Basically, she didn't do nothing wrong. But if that's the story that you want to run with, if that's the story that you need to tell yourself so you could sleep better at night, by any means, please be my guest. I'm at the point of my life, I'm not trying to clear nothing up. You think what the fuck you want to think because I know what I have going on for me. So I definitely find myself being socially selective these days with a lot of people, and I'm cool with it. I love it. I'm at peace, and nobody's disturbing or disrupting this peace that they didn't give me because I gave it and I created it for myself. Think that's all I have to say right now. Dr. Chris, you have anything else?
Heavy on that last part where you was like, I don't care what anyone has to say about what I'm doing to protect my peace and make sure that it continues. Like if I gotta cut you off, if I gotta stop talking to you, if I gotta just deal with you on a professional level, platonic, whatever it takes to make sure my peace is intact, I'm going to do that. And a lot of times you're like people will try to convince you to make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing or you acting funny with them or you're changing. Thank you. I will hope I will change at some point in my life. Like I don't want to do the same stuff over and over again or go through the same lessons and continue a cycle of the same BS. Who wants to do that for the rest of their lives? Not me. So once you realize like cutting ties, burning bridges, it just comes with the territory. Because either you keep this bridge up, like, oh, I'm done with it, but I'm gonna keep it up just in case what? If you know this past connection is over here, you're here, you would have to go back, recross a bridge that should have been burnt previously, multiple times before, but you're gonna keep the bridge up. Like, no, I'm done with the person, but I ain't gonna burn the bridge. I need to make sure that I'm fully healed. I need to make sure, just in case they need me, I don't want to make it seem like we can't be friends, like we can't be cool and all of this. If you know there's nothing over there for you over that bridge, why are you keeping it up? What's the point? That temptation, you want to make sure that you have that security that, oh, if I did decide to go back to this, I'll still have this bridge up. If I could just dip in and see what's going on. And if it's not what I want it to be, then I'm gonna walk back across the bridge. You're gonna be behind. Let's just make that clear. You're gonna be behind because you done made all this progress and you done did all this healing and you done did all of these, learning your lessons and applying the lessons, all of that, and then you get tempted, you get lonely, you get discouraged, you get frustrated. You're gonna keep this bridge up, go back across, and relearn the same lessons. Basically start over. That's time that you can't get back. I just realized another thing. Like I'm real particular in my time too. Like if I know it's not like we're not on the same page at meeting you, I don't even want to waste my time and wait and see if it changes. Like, listening to my intuitive feelings, like, I feel like this is a waste of time. I feel like you want BS. I feel like you have ill intentions towards me. I'm not stalling on that. Like, I'm not gonna not listen to myself because I want to see, oh, maybe I'm not. Like, that goes back to listening to yourself, trusting yourself, trusting what you're feeling, trusting those emotions, trusting those thoughts. Yeah, it can sometimes come from trauma. However, that trauma has shaped you and equipped you with the tools and knowledge that you didn't have before. So if you're getting these repetitive feelings or thoughts or emotions when you're connecting with new people, sometimes it's not new people. Sometimes it's a repeat of what you just learned from or been through, just to see if you learn your lesson. That recently happened to me. I say I'm healing, I'm good, I've recovered, I've replenished my energy, I've done XYZ, and then I meet somebody. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then what I felt in the past, things that I previously ignored, those red flags started popping up, and I'm like, cut. Like, I already know where this will lead me. This would lead me into more pain. And like my cousin said before, it was like, oh, pain is the greatest teacher. You can learn so much from that. You have to feel the pain. True. However, if I can see where this might be heading, I don't want to feel that again. So learning the lessons, applying the knowledge, and testing yourself. Like, okay, I've been through this before. Okay, so I've been through this situation before. This is what happened the last time I've been through this. Let me see. Like, oh, yep, they on the same thing. Okay, cut. It's a really quick process to go through to see who you're connecting with and if it's even worth connecting to them. Especially if energetically you feel like it's an off-putting energy, or like, nah, I'm not feeling that, or something is off, or you're questioning or whatever, then you got to listen to that. You got to adhere to that, right? And make the move that's best for you. Sometimes we don't know how to do that because we've made decisions based on other people's feelings, emotions, what works for them, what's best for them for so many years that it feels foreign when it's time to do it for ourselves. And that's something I've learned, and I'm still learning. And I'm definitely in a better position than I was before. I can say that. So that's all I have for that, Kai.
Well, girl, I had typed up something, a note, what I wanted to mention next, but I'm gonna say that for later because you just said something about pain, and it's so crazy that you mentioned this. So y'all, no, y'all don't know, but I listen to like all kind of music. Like I don't only just listen to like hip hop, R&B, whatever, whatever. So they have a group called Imagine Dragons, right? And the name of the song is called Believer. And it's so crazy because I was listening to this song last night. So basically, like they're saying, pain, you made me a believer, right? So this is, it reminds me of being like a kid or just being like a younger person. And then, somebody that's older than you that's experienced something that you're currently going through, and they try to give you advice, and they tell you, or I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should do that. But instead of them listening and taking heed, they go do it anyway. And why? Because pain has to make them a believer. Some people only learn from pain. How many times you didn't yelled at a toddler and told them, "Hey, don't touch that. That's hot. That's a flat iron. That's hot." Like this literally happened. Like I think I had to be like in high school. I've been doing hair since forever. So I was in high school and I was by my friend's house and I was doing her hair. I had the flat iron turned on. Her little cousin had to be like about 3 or 4 at the time. And he just kept trying to touch the flat iron. He just kept trying to touch it. His mama kept saying, "Dude, do not touch that. It's hot. You're going to burn yourself." She told him that like about 6 times. As soon as she turned around and walked away, he touched the flat iron and burnt himself, and you just hear him screaming and hollering. But guess what? I bet you he learned his lesson. I bet you that pain taught him a valuable lesson. I bet you to this day that little boy ain't touch a flat iron again. So sometimes you do need that pain to teach you. Sometimes you gotta fall on your ass and hurt yourself, scrape your leg, be hospitalized, be bandaged in order for you to learn a lesson. You wanted to learn it the hard way instead of just be like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna take your word for it. But some people gotta see for themselves. You can always fuck around and find out. That is always an option. So if I tell you that I will cut you off with no hesitation, no problem, you could definitely fuck around and find out, because it is always an option. Because I will do it, and I promise you I will not lose a wink of sleep behind it at all. So that's what I wanted to say about that. So what I put in my notes, another reason why I find myself being socially selective now is because I notice some people will try to get in your business just to tell your business. Right? So people will, try to stay on your good side, and or they will pretend, because they're really not good pretenders, because their true feelings will always show. They can't hide it. They don't hide it as good as they think they hide it. But they try to get on your good side, try to butter you up just so you can go back and so you can tell them things, so they can go back and tell the people that you are no longer associated with. Like, if I wanted them to know, I would have told them. If they have to go through another source to find out information about me, then it's not their business. If you can't call me, and if you can't get it from me directly from the horse's mouth, it ain't your business. So I definitely find myself just being quiet and just keeping a lot to myself. Some people call it being sneaky. I don't give a fuck. You call it what you want. It's not being sneaky. It's called moving in silence and protecting everything that I'm working for. Because people cannot pray or wish bad on something that they don't even know that you have or what's going on. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing that I have going on. There's nothing that you could talk about. There is nothing that you could do to try and sabotage what I'm working towards. So I definitely just find myself. I feel like the older I get, the quieter I get. Like, I don't really say much, and it's nothing to brag about, but it's really not. Cause it's a trauma response, and I can say that with no problem. Like, I still got a lot of shit that I still have to work on too. But I have worked on a lot, but there's still more to work on. But I definitely realized that it's a trauma response. Like, I started a new job like about 3 months ago. I left my job that I was with for 4 years, corporate America, administrative assistant, got back into cosmetology. And so now I'm working in a salon in Scottsdale. If those of you who don't know, Scottsdale, Arizona is basically like the Beverly Hills of California out here. So a bunch of, uppity, you know. So anywho, I found myself like kind of not really interacting with my coworkers. Um, and from their perspective, they kind of take like offense to it, but I gotta, I gotta vet y'all first. I'm sorry. Like, it's not that I don't like them. Like, I've grown to like all of the people that I work with. Like, they some bomb ass, dope ass women. But it took me a while to open up to them, just because I'm socially selective about who I share my energy with. I could sit in the same room with you and be quiet and not say a word, and I will be okay with that. I don't have to talk. I could be quiet. But I noticed that a lot of people, they don't like that, because they don't know how to read you. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know, like, they just don't know. But I absolutely love that. Like, I'm glad that you don't know. That's the whole point. Now you just left with your assumptions, and whatever assumptions you have, that's all on you. I really don't care what it is, how you think, how you feel. I just know I have to do what I need to do to protect my peace at all costs, because the old me, she's still out. She in hibernation. You poke the bear enough, she gonna wake up. But I don't want that to happen. I really don't. So I just choose to stay quiet. Because I worked real hard. And I don't want to go to jail. And I do not want to be Big Bertha, bitch. I'm too cute to go to jail. Dr. Chris, you got anything?
I mean, making the choice to be socially selective, like we've stated, it can be hard because you're in this cycle and you're used to the pain and all of this toxicity, negativity, anything that will keep you in the loop, keep you bound to a certain behavior or pattern, and you're trying to break it. Like, it does take time, and it's okay to not be involved in everything. You know, sometimes I used to feel some type of way, like if an event was going on and people I consider my friends didn't invite me. It's okay not to be invited. Like, I actually appreciate that because most times I'm at home with my bonnet on in the bed and I be ready to go to bed. I go to bed early, baby. I get tired around 10 p.m. Everybody know once I head upstairs and I put that bonnet on, that's it. That's it. Like, so fine, don't invite me, but also remember to keep that same consistency, right? Like, don't pick and choose when you want me to be around. Like, you're not going to siphon off of my energy when you're low and when you need some encouragement, when you need some happiness. Like, you're not going to steal what I got for me from me to make you better. Like, that's not cool. And so when I start to notice that that's your intention, or that's what you might have in store for me, I'm not afraid to pull back. And I used to, you know, play the game of I'ma just wait and see, or maybe that wasn't their intention, or maybe I'm tripping. No, I'm not going to go against myself and what I know and feel is correct just to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Like, most times when you feel it, that's what it is. But we'll talk ourselves out of it. Like, nah, they wouldn't do that to me. They could and they would. Okay. And that's another lesson I learned too. Like, people are not me. Like, just because I wouldn't do something, or I wouldn't, that's not my intention, or what I wanted to bring forth, or mention to you. But just because that's how I wouldn't move doesn't mean that's not how other people will move. Like, I had to stop thinking. It kind of came off as being naive or green. Like, oh, you think all people are going to be honest with you? You're honest with yourself, you're honest with other people, very transparent. But do you think everybody is like that? I did at one point. I always wanted to see the good in everybody, and that's not a fault. That's still a good quality to have. But I also need to make sure that the reality of what I'm seeing aligns with what I believe about a person. If a person's actions, intentions, how they treat others, you themselves, is a contradiction to the good you see in them, then they're not good people. Like, if they're a terrible person, they're going to be terrible people by nature. That's who they are. So just because you can see the good in them, and you have little hot spots of good things that they'll do for people, or good things that they'll say or encourage somebody, that doesn't mean that that's who they truly are. That could be a facade that they're showing you to make you think, oh, well, he like me, she like me, they good people like me. You can't make that assumption. You just can't. It's dangerous to you, for one, because, like, you're going in with pure intentions, and these people have an agenda, and you're so caught on the romanticized version of them, of what they could be if they did X, Y, Z, if they put in the work, if they healed, if they did all of this. No, what are they doing right now? What are they showing you right now? What are their actions showing you? What do they say? And most times it's a contradiction. Like, they say they good, but they're doing everything to show me bad. Okay, so what does that tell you? This is not who I think they are. They're not who they're pretending to be. And sometimes it takes a minute to see that. Like, we want to believe, we want to see the good in so many different people, But if that's just not who they inherently are, and their actions are reflecting that, then you got to make the decision to walk away. Pull your energy back, pull your, your well intentions, your protection, your peace, all of the good things that you bring, all the value that you add to people's lives. You have to take that. You have to protect that. That's rare. And people that have ill intentions love to take advantage of people like that, where they can only see the good and they're neglecting or forgetting or turning a blind eye to what they're being shown. So that's definitely a lesson. I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. Pain, no, it didn't feel good, but baby, once I felt it and purged it and really processed it, I'm in a much better position. It didn't feel good when I was going through it, but baby, when I made it to the other side, that peace. It's nothing like that peace. That's all I had, Kai.
So you said you said something um about, people doing things, right? People know what they be doing. People say things, people do things, and they know what they be doing. Like, just like you know what you're doing, and everything that you do or everything you say, you have to process it first. It's a thought in your mind first. Like, what they said and what they did was a thought in their mind first, too. So that's another reason why I am socially selective, because you know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, too. But the difference between me and you is you underestimate me. I don't underestimate you. I don't put nothing past nobody. That's the difference. And I absolutely love being underestimated. I love it. I love it. Inserts evil laugh. Ha 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 ha. But like, people will underestimate you just because you don't react how they want you to react. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I didn't give you the reaction that you are looking for, that don't mean that I don't know what I'm doing. That don't mean that I don't know what you're doing. That just means that I'm playing chess and you're playing checkers. That's it. That's all. We playing two different games. Everybody playing the game, but which one you playing? Because I know which one I'm playing. I'm always 10 steps ahead, regardless of what it is that you think. But please believe, people always know. People know what they're doing. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, you were talking about people only come around when they need something from you. We call those energy vampires, because you come to me when you need energy, just like how they have these electric cars, these Teslas and all of these other electric cars, and they go charge up at the charge station. People see you as a charge station for them, and they will come and they will use you and they will use you and they will use you if you allow them to. So you always have to be socially selective. And if they want to say it's antisocial, so what? So be it. So more to be. Whatever it is that you want it to be, baby, that's what it is. But we got to stay away from energy vampires. You're not going to continue just to come around me and take from me and take from me and take from me and drain my energy and my resources just for you to act shitty towards me later on, because now you done got what you wanted. We not doing that. That's not what this is. That's not what it is, and it's never going to be what it is. So again, you got to be mindful. You can't second guess nothing that nobody's doing, because again, people know what the fuck they be doing. They know what they be saying. They know. They know. And the reason why I'm like this, because pain, okay, just like the Imagine Dragons song, pain made me a believer, okay? When your own family, your own blood, your relatives, when the person that you come from, when the person that brought you into this life is the person that cut you the deepest, then that let me know for a fact I can't put nothing past none of these motherfuckers out here. If my own birth parents could do things to me that you would do to a whore in the street that you don't give a fuck about. What the fuck I think somebody else gonna do to me? But just because you don't have the reaction that they expect for you to have, they think that you're stupid. They think you don't know nothing. Oh yeah, she's just a pushover. No, she not. She not. She's not. But she has more to lose. She has bigger fish to fry. And one thing about karma, one thing about energy, whatever you put out, it's gonna always come back. And people love to say, because they know I'm spiritual and stuff. They know they know what's up. They be quick to want to say, oh, well, you must be doing voodoo or you doing black. Ain't nobody doing nothing, baby. That's your intentions. That's your energy, because what you put out comes back to you, right? Because how did I'm going to always use this as a reference. How does the universe work? I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off to me and sticks onto you. So you need to be careful of who you play with, because you don't know nobody. You don't know the next person's spiritual ranking. It don't matter what they look like. It don't matter what they talk like. It don't matter where they come from. None of that matter. You don't know what they do behind closed doors. You don't know the work that they've put in energetically. So, but one thing about karma is karma is beautiful. Karma is definitely beautiful, because you get what you give. So if you keep giving trash ass, shitty ass energy, that's what you're gonna get back. Then you wonder why nothing ain't working out for you. But again, that's another reason why I'm socially selective, because I don't have time for that. And you're not about to make me come down on my level energetically to stoop down to your level so that I could get bad karma. Girl, why would I do that? Ew. That's nasty. That's nasty. I don't want to do that. I just sit back and I just be like, I'll do a return to sender real quick. I receive the energy, but baby, I return the intention back to its sender. And whatever happens, happens. That's your energy. That's your intentions coming back to you. You put it out, it's coming back. Eventually, may not be today, tomorrow, next year. It's coming back. So that's why I move very intentionally. I'm very intentional. Very, very intentional. I'm very honest. Some people don't like me because I'm honest, and I'm cool with that. That means you don't need to be around me. When I first got into spirituality, I remember I made a post and I was like, if me burning sage and incense and wearing crystals make you not want to be around me, good. That means it's working. It's working. It's definitely working. And I promise I don't regret or miss a soul at all. And I will continue to be socially selective. You hit a day, you might be cut off tomorrow. That's just how it happens, depending on how the wind blows. I probably might let you slide with so much shit, and then after I done gave you enough rope to hang yourself, now you cut. That's it. That's all. Cause you know, I have time. I don't have the energy to give you at all. Cause you're not gonna drain me. You're not gonna drain me. You're not gonna play with me. You're not gonna make me go back to a place that I've come from. I'm not opening up old wounds that's healed. Yes, I still think about it. Yes, it's still there, but I can't let you get me out of my character just because you want to be right about who I am. It really says more about you than it does about me.
Let me also mention it just to piggyback or extend on what you just said, not just that, but also you don't have that much control like you used to have. The things that you used to be able to pull to make me do, say, be what you wanted me to do, say, and be no longer applies here. The power people once had over you and your actions and how you moved, your emotions, all of this, when you really start to dive deeper and heal all of that, they have they don't have that thing to hold over you anymore. They don't have that power play. They don't have that button to push anymore. And when you show them that, now see, the old me would have pulled up and just yanked. You know what I'm saying? Like cut up and get out of character and want to fight and all of that. But now it's like you really want my attention, you want my energy, you want me to give you some type of sign that what you've done, said, spread, expressed, all of this has some type of impact on who I am, how I'm feeling, how I'm doing. And when you show them that you no longer need their validation or any type of anything from them, that burn them up. That burns them up. And it's not just limited to, people that you might be, friends with or you went to school with or, y'all just kick it together or even relatives, family. Like I said, like those are the deepest cuts. Um, those are the first people that can hurt you and you learn all about what pain is. Sometimes that's the case. However, it doesn't mean that you're going to stay there. You're not going to stay in that space, especially if you've made the decision and the intention that I'm not going to allow this to keep me here. Like, I'm not going to keep having the same emotional responses, or I'm not going to continue to allow this experience or this emotion or this um, thing to keep me bound like it typically would. So, yeah. Yeah, when you realize how much of your power you've taken back and how you've taken control back from other people, it really just makes me feel great. I'm very happy and thrilled to see how healing looks on me, right? Like it definitely is a journey, but I wouldn't have imagined how all of that I've been through would bring me to this place today. Because again, it didn't feel good when I was going through it, when I had to feel it. But once I felt it and released it, it didn't have that hold on me anymore. And I think once you reach that part where you're like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this to have more power over me than I have over me. And you make the intentional decisions and actions, you'll be in a much better space. And I talk to a lot of people where they're like, man, my peace, I don't care who you are. Mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, auntie, nephew, niece, I don't care who you are. If it causes any disturbance or discrepancy to my peace, my stability, my mental clarity, the wellness of my mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health, then you can't stay. Like there's some adjustments that need to be made, you know? So I say all that to say being socially selective is necessary. Some people that are not ready to dive deeper into themselves and figure out what's going on with them and why they do the things that they do, say, feel all of this, and they want to continue to perpetuate toxicity and BS. You're not on that, so you're going to have to learn how to determine who you need to be around. Listening to yourself, listening to your intuitive feelings, listening to those reminders, those triggers. Sometimes it can be trauma based and it's like, oh, you tripping because of what you went through or all of this. But sometimes, most times, because you've been through XYZ, you now have more tools to refer to, resources to pull from. Like, I remember the last time I felt like this was the situation. And I don't want to say that's what it is now, but this is what it's giving me. It's giving me those vibes. I'm getting triggered. I'm getting reminded of what I've been through previously with the same similar conditions and circumstances. So I'm going to listen to myself this time. That's fine too. And that comes with people as well. Like if you feel like this person is no longer on your wave, on your vibe, you're not on the same page, they want to continue to do the same things and you're trying to move past that, there's a misalignment right there. So you're gonna have to make the decision to go ahead and cut. Not saying you beefing, there's some type of issue, or you're angry, or you don't want to forgive them, and all of this. That's not what that's saying. That's just saying that, hey, our connection is not feasible or conducive to the growth that I've been through and I've experienced. I'm on this level, and you're not trying to be here. You're not trying to grow with me. You're not trying to learn with me. You're not trying to teach me. We have nothing in common. Therefore, I wish you well. Thank you, but I gotta go. And being okay with that and not being apologetic about it. That's that's the journey. So that's all I had. We about to wrap up. Kai, anything else?
Yes, I just have one more story, just one. So this conversation like made me like I guess in a sense I kind of always been socially selective. I just wasn't aware that I was socially selective, but I've always been aware that I'm petty as fuck. I'm definitely that. And so something happened back in elementary school. Yeah, I'm about to go back. I just want to use this as an example. So people people will do things to you, they will say things to you, and just because they may have forgotten or it's not a big deal to them, but you still it's still like it don't sit right with you. Like, I ain't forget. So I was being very petty this particular day. But let me go back and tell y'all the story. So elementary school, I went to a whole new school for like third grade. So I went to one school pre-K through second grade, and then I went to a new school for third grade. So I went there, like I'm the new girl. My hair was to my waist, skin was fucking clear as fuck, flawless. Oh my gosh, I want that back. It's coming. There are like some girls that didn't like me just because of those physical features, right? And me, I thought everybody was my friend. I just said, hey, I'm everybody's friend, right? So not knowing that deep down these girls really don't like me because people are very good at faking and hiding and pretending until a certain point, right? So got to middle school. So I've been knowing this group of females since the third grade. So we make it to middle school. Middle school was seventh grade. So it had to be between seventh and eighth grade when this happened. So this one chick, she walked up to me and she was like, "Oh, Akaya, I used to didn't like you when we was in elementary school." And I was like, "What?" And it like really took me back because I was like very baffled because bitch, we talk to each other all the time. Like we hang out every day. Like we talk to each other every day since the third grade. Like, and not like on the weekends, but like at school, like we talked. I'm thinking we cool, right? So and she was like, yeah. She was like, I used to didn't like you. Um, the whole time we was in elementary, she was like, and I was like, you ain't like me. I'm like, well, why you ain't like me? And she was like, well, because you came to school and before you came, I had the longest hair, and then you come and your hair longer than mine, and then you know how to sing, and I was the only one who knew how to sing, and this boy that I like started liking you, and this and that, and da 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 da. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I was like, no, I actually did not know that. And she was like, oh, well, I'm over it now. And like, she like just like walked away. So we make it to high school. I think she told me this in eighth grade. So ninth grade, freshman year, we went to high school. So when I saw her, because like by the time we made it to middle school, we wasn't like in the same circle. So like we didn't see each other as much. You go to middle school, you get different friends. You go to high school, you branch off, you get more friends. So now boom, we done made it to high school. And so she come walk up to me and she got two of her friends with her. Oh, hey Kaya, I said, and I looked at her, I said, remember you used to didn't like me because my hair was longer than yours and a boy that you liked me and I could sing better than you? And the same dick look I had on my face when she told me that's the same dick look she had on her face. And then I smiled and I walked off. Cause girl, fuck you. I didn't forget. So now I've decided to be antisocial. I don't talk to you. I've become socially selective about not fucking with you. And I'm definitely cool with however it played out from there moving forward. Now, I still was able to be cordial with the young lady when I seen her at past events, but she would be tooted and booted, and that's not my problem. And this isn't anything to be messy. It's just telling a story about people know what they're doing. Some people will have the worst intentions and you may not know it. That's why it's important to pay attention. That's why it's important to listen to your intuition. That's why it's important to have discernment. That's why it's just important to sometimes just shut the fuck up and pay attention. Because at one point, I didn't do that. I thought everybody was my friend. Just like Dr. Chris said earlier, I thought everybody was me. I was raised to treat people how you want to be treated. And now I treat people accordingly. That's that. I'm not going to treat you how I want to be treated. I'm going to treat you how you deserve to be treated. And if that involves cutting you off and being socially selective and not talking to you or fucking with you from a distance, and that's just what it is. And so, that's really all I have. Chris, you have anything else? Any final words before we go? No? All right. Well, I guess I will go ahead and do our quotes for this live. Um, and all I'm gonna say is this isn't a quote from anyone. This comes from me. Um, just always be mindful. Pay attention. Um, to your surroundings. Pay attention to what people say. And this is definitely an affirmation because you're affirming something. An affirmation doesn't always have to be something positive per se, right? You can affirm negative shit. That's still an affirmation. Affirmation is you affirming something, you giving energy, you giving power to something. So stop, don't give your power away. Keep your power to yourself. Believe in yourself, affirm yourself, love yourself, nourish yourself, take care of yourself. Do what you have to do for yourself. Put yourself first because you can't pour from an empty cup. And we know how energy vampires work. They will take, but never give. So love yourself, stay true to yourself. That's pretty much all I have. Dr. Chris, you have any words of encouragement?
Yes, ma'am. Listen, that was a good discussion just talking about being selective and who you're interacting with, who you're sharing your energy, time, space, attention, love with. Um, and just a continuation of what we've always said, what I've always said to you, like nothing that you're experiencing have no one else ever experienced. It might be in a different way, it might be a different situation, different circumstance. But when you're on this journey, you could feel isolated, like you're by yourself, like no one understands, no one will be able to resonate or pour into you in any way, shape, or form because your situation, your trauma, your life is so different. We're here to tell you that that is not the case. You do have support, you do have people that love, care, admire you, and are truly concerned about your well-being, about your peace, about your growth, your healing. I just want to encourage you, like if you are still on the path and you are still trying to figure out who you are and what it is that makes you you, what makes you tick, your motivations, your pain, all of those things, keep going. um I know we have not been on live for a while and we did give you that warning, but we have been discussing some things and there might be some changes coming about soon in regards to say speak your truth, so stay tuned for that. But definitely want everyone that's watching us under the sound of our voices, like we truly appreciate you and you are valued and needed in this world. There's no one like you. No one has your energy, your smile, your love, your intention, your compassions, your passions. No one has your purpose. You are you for a reason, and you are meant to be here to pour your light, your energy, your love into the people of this world. So keep going. It gets rough, it gets tough, but as long as you put the work in and you're pure and you are moving forth with clarity, power, and peace, and a place from a place of love, all things are always working out for you. It might not feel like it in the moment. You might be going through so many different things right now in this present time. However, everything that you need to overcome that is already within you. You just have to believe it and put in the work yourself as well. So that's really all I had in regards to encouragement. I hope that you all have enjoyed the live. It has been a while. We've missed you. And we're so glad that we were able to come on here and just run it with y'all, check in, and talk about, another important topic, which is being socially selective and mindful of who you share yourself, your energy, your time, your love, your attention with. So that's all I got. Anything else, Kai?
No, I don't have anything else. I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. We miss y'all. We love y'all. We're working on something so that we can at least come back, periodically. May not be as often as we were doing it before, but we miss y'all. We definitely love doing this. And oh, I can share our good news. Dr. Chris and I will be speaking at a women's brunch tomorrow at the Women's Empowerment Brunch, hosted by the whole CEO. So there's that. These brunches are every other month. So, yeah, if you're interested, we're going to be making posts about it. So you can purchase tickets. Yes, you purchase tickets to come to this event. But we'll keep you posted. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. We miss y'all. We love y'all. See y'all later. Bye.